Go, go, Power Rangers! Mighty Morphin Power Rangers! They've got a power and a force that you never wanted to buy Power Rangers in the first place. What? So this is Tuesday. And on Tuesdays, I talk about toys. Usually I talk about miniatures and props and D&D related, fantasy related things like Games Workshop. But occasionally I also talk about action figures. And we're talking about action figures. We got to talk about Hasbro. And we got to talk about, of course, something that is near and dear to my heart, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which my guilty pleasure is my love for Power Rangers and my love for Sentai. It's one of my, things. So Hasbro has been the shepherds of Power Rangers for quite a while now, and they've had some good runs and they've had some bad runs. I mean, pretty much everything after Beast Morphers was a disaster, especially Cosmic Fury and Once and Always and the 2017 movie. And now apparently Hasbro is claiming they never intended to buy Power Rangers, that it was done without the CEO's permission, that somehow a multi-million-dollar franchise was purchased by a company that fought to get the franchise from Disney, screwed over Heinz Saban to get it and to get everything about it so that they could merchandise Power Rangers. Somehow that all happened without the previous CEO or the R&D knowing about it. That is the story that is going around. And that is why Hasbro is claiming that, Power Rangers hasn't made them money in a long time. They haven't really done anything with the franchise. And now they're licensing it off to other people. And they specifically focused it on Mighty Morphin for so long because they thought Mighty Morphin was the franchise that would get them the most of the monies. And for a while, with the stuff Boom Comics was doing, yes, Mighty Morphin did get them the most money, but there's only so far you can milk Mighty Morphin before people are like, hey, what about Andros? What about Time Force? What about the Beast Morphers? What about Wild Force? What are the other, the other great series? Are we ever going to revisit those in the comics? Or with the action figures, right? Because the Lightning Collection, of course, great stuff. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers figures have ranged from amazing to piece of crap. Now they're over at Playmates. Playmates is, again, only focusing on Mighty Morphin at first, which means we're going to get a great run of at least initial figures and way more Green Ranger figures than we know what to do with because he still is the most popular of all time. But how do you do that? How do you fight to get Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and the Power Rangers franchise from Disney when Disney dropped the ball on that? How do you fight to get it to screw over Heinz Saban? How do you hype to spend millions of dollars on this franchise and apparently happening without anybody knowing about it? I could understand if you accidentally purchased a small thing and didn't tell anybody about it, right? R&D and the CEO doesn't need to know. It's not that important. We bought a new printer. But Power Rangers happened without consulting, which would, of course, beg the question, well, why did you invest all that time and energy in it then if you somehow accidentally never meant to purchase it in the first place? And the defense that they have now is, well, we wanted to run with it and see if we could recoup our losses. And then they cite the lackluster runs like Beast Morphers, Dino Fury, Once and Always, the 2017 movie, and the disaster that was Cosmic Fury as reasons why it's failing them. Now, I will, of course, cite that Beast Morphers did unbelievably well. It was one of the best series in a long time. In fact, most of us consider the second half of Beast Morphers the true homage/end to the run. And Dino Fury, despite having a great premise and great ideas, was just a disaster. And Cosmic Fury, of course, we're not even going to talk about, or that movie we're not even going to talk about, because or the 2017 movie. That's just like, no, let's just, those were mistakes. So if that's what they mean, like, oh, we mistakenly made the Power Ranger movie without, any connection to the franchise. We mistakenly made Cosmic Fury without any actual connection to the material we were using. How did that all happen without you know about it? And that's why we're selling it off. That's why we're getting rid of it. And about a couple days later, we've got this thing running around now where Hasbro is claiming they're no longer a toy company. Since they dropped the ball on Power Rangers and Transformers, and the toys are definitely not making as much money as they would like it to make. I mean, mind you, Peppa still making them, close to $1 billion. Furby, of all things, made them tons of money. And toys made them, with the exception of the digital shit from Wizards of the Coast, and toys was their biggest thing. It definitely wasn't the TV shit. It definitely wasn't the movie. It's been, the video games. It's been the toys. It's been certain brands. Now, there's no mistaking that the Power Rangers is losing money and has lost money since Beast Morphers that they just gave up. But to claim they never meant to purchase it, the amount of steps Hasbro had to go to get Power Rangers. And I remember them fighting tooth and nail to get Power Rangers from the previous people that had it. And, Saban was like, we'll take it back. And Hasbro was like, no, we're going to do all these things. And the communications with the Sentai and, all the promises they made. And it, what the Hasbro generation of Power Rangers went off to a good start. I mean, everything up to Beast Morphers was decent. And then after the end of Beast Morphers, they just kind of went, fuck it. We'll just do another dinosaur series. Because that's what we've got. Now, Real Slogger, the series that Dino Fury was based on, was awesome. It took a tried and true thing that we'd already seen 100 times on Power Rangers and presented it in a brand new, bizarre way. That worked. Dino Fury, great premise, didn't work. And now Hasbro's saying, we are not a toy company anymore. Well, what are you? What do you have other than toys? Magic the Gathering? Because Dungeons and Dragons is still qualified as a toy. It is in the Toy Hall of Fame. It is in the toy section of the Smithsonian. It's in the toy section of Target. It's still considered a toy. So are you saying you don't consider Dungeons and Dragons a thing anymore? What does that mean? You don't consider yourself a toy company anymore? What are you then? You gonna start making cars? You're not an entertainment company, that's for sure. Your last two movies, disaster. Your last couple attempts at television shows and cartoons, disaster. Transformers, disaster. What are you? I would think you'd want to refocus on the things that have brought you in money this quarter. If we just look at the Q2 numbers, what were the highest numbers from? Peppa Pig, Furby of all fucking things, video games, Magic the Gathering, and technically sort of D&D, but not really. Magic the Gathering goes without saying that literally at this point, it's just printing free money. It costs them nothing, basically, to print out Magic the Gathering and keep perpetuating the Magic the Gathering. You would think this would be a perfect time to start re-merchandising Magic the Gathering. New action figures, new books, another crossover with Hot Pockets, whatever. But no, okay, fine. The branding of D&D for the 50th anniversary. You would think that would just be print itself. You're just licensed to print free money. But as we have talked about every month for the past 6 months, those have all been disasters, and you're not licensing it anywhere close to what you think you would, considering it's the 50th anniversary. So if that's not what you think is your main source of income, is it video games? Are you a video game company now? Is that what you think is gonna make the money? Because the video game that made you the most money just said they don't want to work with you anymore. And you just lost another company that said they don't want to work with you anymore. So you're not a video game company. You're not an entertainment company. You're not a board game company because you licensed off the board games. So are you just an IP holder? Are you just a company now that buys licenses, sits on those licenses, and then resells the licenses at the point where they think they can recoup their losses? Which would then go all the way back to the original premise of this article. You didn't intend to buy Power Rangers, but once you had it, you figured you'd run with it. Well, that's not how corporate America works. First off, corporate America doesn't accidentally buy a franchise. You don't accidentally spend that much money for an established franchise like Power Rangers and then go, we didn't mean to. Dave got drunk one night and accidentally called Japan, accidentally made the arrangement, accidentally spent the millions of dollars, accidentally screwed Disney out of the license. You didn't mean for that to happen. Well, then why did you run with it? Well, we wanted to recoup our losses. That's not how that works. You either merchandise the fuck out of it to make it worthwhile that you can recoup your losses to sell the license back as soon as possible, or you sit on the license and build up expectations so that when you sell it 6 months to a year later, you not only recoup your losses, you make a franchise. So you don't wibbly wobbly what you did with Power Rangers. You either merchandise the fuck out of it out of the gate. Look, we've got Power Rangers. Look at the quality of the Power Ranger shit we're doing. We need to recoup our losses. So we are just doing this mass market avalanche of Power Rangers stuff to get people to buy it up, so that when we resell the license 6 months to a year to 2 years from now, not only do we pay back the millions of dollars that we spent to get the license and justify the spending the money in the first place to the shareholders, we make a profit. Or you do the exact opposite. You sit on it. You don't do anything with it other than let people know you have it. You wait for the existing product to sell out, because then that builds up the desire for people to want to have that product back on the market. And then the fans start demanding new episodes, new toys, new merchandise, new comics. And then you find somebody who's willing to invest the amount of money that you want to make to recoup the losses to buy the franchise from you. And then you make a profit, like Disney or somebody else who could have, ran with Power Rangers and done something with it and would have been happy to spend that amount of money because they knew that they could then run with it and make back whatever they spent by filling the need, because you had created a need by not producing any Power Rangers product. So you had two ways to go with that. And normal corporate America, we have seen thousands and thousands of times those two options work. But apparently Hasbro chose a third option just to be different. We're going to run with the license, but we're going to do it in sort of a haphazard, lazy, let's just throw shit against the wall and see what sticks. Oh, people really like these limited edition Lightning Collection figures. We should A, make more of them, or B, raise up the price of the existing ones, or C, not make any more of them to build up the need so that when we do start making more of them, they'll be worth more money. Oh, wait, there's a fourth option where we could just kind of release them haphazardly in no particular order. Yeah. No. Just No. How do you buy a multi-million-dollar franchise by accident? Well, thankfully, now that they are no longer a toy company, and now that Hasbro is saying the only way we can make money is by licensing off our IPs, like we do every other country, except, I guess, in America, they have licensed off Power Rangers to Playmates, who make really good toys. And Playmates has no problem saying, yeah, we're still a toy company. Please give us this franchise you have driven to the ground. We will happily re-energize it and make it available at a price point where kids can buy it. And then also for the nostalgia collectors who have the money, they're willing to spend 20, 30, 40, 60, 80, $100 on a high-end figure. But we could also mass market the low-end stuff for 15, 8, 20 bucks and recoup, whatever we spent to get the license from you and do a better job. What does this mean for all the TV shows that Hasbro had been promising us for Power Rangers? Well, they're stuck in limbo. They're stuck in limbo because Hasbro doesn't have a production company anymore. They let E1 go. So they would have to have somebody else do Power Rangers for them, like Paramount. Except Paramount doesn't want to work with them anymore. How about Laren Studios? Nope, Laren Studios doesn't work with them anymore. The only bright side to all of this was the announcement of the new side-scroller Rita's Revenge for the various side-scrolling video game things. Because that looks amazing. It's a classic 90s side-scrolling beat-em-up featuring the classic Power Rangers. That's the one shining light that's coming out of all this. We know that the action figures are going to be in good hands in Playmate, and once they get that up and running, they'll probably have an incredible run. We know at least there's one decent Power Rangers video game coming out. But after that, who knows? Because Hasbro doesn't make toys anymore. I guess they're just the kind of thing, I guess they just buy up licenses, sit on them, and then resell them when they think they're going to recoup their losses, which is not unusual. But as we have just seen by going over this article, even that is something that somehow Hasbro manages to somehow mess up. Corporate America 101. Hasbro doesn't take those courses. Hasbro only takes the courses that the cool kids take. Anyways, that's your toy news for today. All I can say is the expectation is it will be a great time to be a Power Rangers toy fan because we know Playmate is going to do an amazing job with it. Till next time, go Power Rangers. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yo, check. Yeah, we're not the type to play games. You can stay claims. Came to show them.